For more on those plans, let's go to Leeds and speak to Nick Atkin, who's the Chief Executive of the Cheshire-based Halton Housing Trust. Nick, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Can I just pick up Nick's last point there? This proposal for brownfield sites, that might make a difference, mightn't it?
It could make a difference. I think our main concern is that the right to buy policy in effect isn't the right solution to address our housing crisis. It's proven from the government's own figures and indeed our own experience that the notion of one-for-one replacement just doesn't work in reality.
So the housing crisis, if that's what it is, remains. But what about the aspirational point that the Conservatives would make, that actually if you own your own property, you tend to look after it and it gets that all-important foot on the housing ladder?
We fully support the aspiration for people to those who want to get into home ownership. I think our concerns are that many of the people in our experience who exercise the right to buy and purchase their own homes subsequently struggle. In the last few years alone, we've received in excess of 50 requests to buy back homes that were previously sold under the right to buy. In addition to that, we deal with many people who are in desperate housing need on our waiting list, who are in poor quality private sector rented accommodation, or indeed are adults who are living at home with their parents. This policy does absolutely nothing to address the shortage of 200,000 homes that we're not building every year that we need to be.
Nick, where does the buck stop on that? Because we were just hearing from Nick there that local authorities all but gave up on building new homes. Private developers stopped with the crash. So where do you think the impetus should come from? That is solely a government responsibility?
I think if you look at the announcement that was made today, we believe there is a much better way that what will be £17.5 billion over the lifetime of the next Parliament could be used to fund a supply of good quality, affordable rented homes across England. The current policy will do nothing to increase the supply of much needed affordable housing.
But a brownfield fund, which the Prime Minister has announced, might?
It will go some way. However, many of the homes that we currently have planned to build, we have over 800 in our development pipeline, many of those, if this policy is introduced, will be lost purely just to replace homes that are sold with a very large subsidy under the right to buy.
200,000 house shortfall. With the best will in the world, do you think that could ever be fulfilled?
I think the housing sector and particularly the National Housing Federation have already submitted a whole series of proposals, and we have asked for pledges from all of the main parties after the next election to come up with a very firm plan within a year of being in government in terms of how they intend to address the housing crisis within a generation. We believe that's achievable. We as a housing association working hard in our local area feel we can deliver that through loaning money against our existing asset base. However, the reduction in our housing stock through the extension of right to buy would seriously undermine our ability to be able to do that.
Has any manifesto you've heard so far come close?
I think all the manifestos, I think we'd be interested to know whether they are actually firm promises and commitments rather than statements of good intent.
Nick, the smile says so much more than the words.
We'd be keen to work with whoever's in government to address that shortfall of 200,000 homes each and every year.
Well, Nick Atkin, it's good of you to join us. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.